You're on mute.
And we're unmuted. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good to see everybody. Hey, welcome to Thursday. That's not going to work. Welcome to Thursday. I hope everybody's doing well. The conversation I want to have with you today is about payday. Payday. What does it mean to have a payday? What does it mean to receive income? So I have one of the divisions I have is called mental profits. Your thoughts can, what can your thoughts do? Your thoughts change everything. Everything that comes into your life is based upon your thoughts. That's your income. Mental profits. Your thoughts create your income. So when you think today, when you have conversations today, that's stuff coming into your income model. Here's a question for you. What are you going to deposit into your thank bank? Ooh, did he just bring gratitude into payday? Yep, I sure did. What are you going to put into your thank bank? See, and here's the challenge for most people. For most people, the things that they do today, the things you do today, the activities, the actions, the lack of action, it typically shows up 60 to 90 days, right? If you start eating an apple a day today, it's really not going to make a big difference today or even in 30 days. But you keep eating good food for probably 60 days, you'll start to see a difference. Your waistline, your face will look different, all of these things. So now the question is, when did you start adding to your thank bank? And the thank bank is the thing you're thankful for when you get to go use it. How many of you have ever had that, needed that little extra money and you had it and you were like, oh my God, thank you. How many of you have ever had somebody loan you some money to get through a tough spot? You were like, thank you. See, that's in your thank bank. If you have the ability, how many of you have ever called somebody to help you through a difficult situation? See, you had put that into your thank bank sometime previously so you could what? Withdraw it. Currently, what you have right now, where you're at right now, what you're doing right now is the withdrawal out of your thank bank. So if you're a little frustrated, that's because 60 days ago, this is what you put into your thank bank. Are you a little behind the times and money? That's because this is what you put into your thank bank 60 days ago. Are you having issues with a relationship? It didn't happen today. They didn't happen today. They happened week, month. This making sense? So understand, royalty check, how are you? Congratulations on your continued journey to wellness. So the question then becomes, if your thank bank is empty, if your thank bank is lacking, how do you create a payday today? You got to overwhelm it. You've got to deposit so much. You've got to deposit so much into the thank bank today. How do I do it? But how do I do that, Sean? My business is down. I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't finished this. I haven't done that. What do I do? What do I do? Your thank bank, if it's empty, some of you, how many of you have ever had a negative number in your bank account? How many of you have silenced the notification that you're below the given budget? So that doesn't ever have to happen again. That should never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever happen again. Do you know why that happens? Do you know why your negative balance happens? Because you have a negative balance. The negative balance that shows up in your bank account is only a result of the negative balance you have in your day. So how do we change that? How do we shift that? What do we do with that? We change that by putting a positive balance into the world. Jim Rohn said, you want more money? You want more money? You want more income? You want more income? You want more stuff? Bring more value to the marketplace. But Sean, I'm doing all of my stuff. I'm sending out emails. I'm doing things. Wallace D. Waddle said it's not about doing certain things. It's about doing things in a certain way. And this is about state. This morning in this morning's meditation, we learned about how to do some effortless meditating. Effortless meditating. What happens if your life becomes effortless? What happens if everything that lands in front of you before you do it? Listen, in this book that Daniela Jukic has read and taught me called The Magic by Rhonda Byrne, called The Magic, she's the one that wrote The Secret, right? In there, it talks about the idea of what Jesus did before every single miracle. How many of you are expecting a miracle? How many of you, drop an M in the chat if you would love a miracle in your life? Now, if you're faith-based, if you believe in the Bible, if you have confidence in the word of Scripture, the secrets are right there. When they say that is the best business book, the best personal relationship book, it's the best book for all kinds of books that you need books for. Before every miracle, Jesus said something. Before every miracle, would you say a miracle is a pretty good payday? Come on, drop a PM. If a payday would be, a miracle would make a pretty good payday. So here's my question. If Jesus thought it was good enough, if the Son of God said, thank you before every miracle, who is he thanking? Who was he thanking before the miracle? So my question to you is, before you can do everything today, before you pull a spoon out of the drawer, how many of you have spoons in your drawers? Not your drawers, in your kitchen drawers, right? Third grade humor. Good morning. Spoons in your drawers. If you have spoons in your drawers, do you know how many people on the planet don't have spoons in their drawers? Do you know how many people don't have drawers, don't own spoons, don't have a house? So before you open the drawer to go look for a spoon, isn't it a miracle that you have a spoon? I know we think about it, but here's what happens. We get very complacent with all of the good that we have, and therefore the universe goes, you don't even like the spoons you got. You don't even like the forks you got. You don't even like the chair you're sitting in. How do I know? When's the last time you thanked the chair you're sitting in? I walk into my office and the dogs think I'm nuts. I go, good morning, chair. Good morning, screens. Good morning, computer. Good morning, washer. Good morning, dryer. Good morning, rug that sucks up the water so it doesn't from the puppies coming in. Good morning, floor. Good morning, ceiling. Good morning, clock. All of these things I say good morning to. Good morning, hair on the floor from the dogs being in here all night. It does sound weird until I walk out on my deck in the morning, and as soon as I open the door and I see that view I have of the lake and the clouds and the way the gray is there this morning, because we just had some heavy rains and there's heavy clouds. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All the way to my office. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Feeling the wet on the deck on the bottom of my bare feet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I cut some trimmings for some trees, to some dogwood trees, and I'm making some rootings, cuttings, whatever you call them, where you cut them and they start to grow their roots so you can make new trees. Cuttings. Propagation. Oh, there's the big word. Propagation. I'm a propagator. How much of your morning have you passed by and didn't say thank you to? That's your payday. You want your payday. If you want your payday, you got to realize how much you've been paid already. When are people most thankful for their job? When they get it and when they're about to lose it, or when they get some benefit from it. Aren't you getting benefit from it every single day, every single second? Some of you may not know this, But I did, I don't know, probably 6 weeks at Home Depot. Sounds like a prison sentence, I know. I did 6 weeks at Home Depot in the hardware department with the orange cape and my name on it, Sean. This was after the we're paying off $1 million in debt. Some things went sideways, and the reason I couldn't stay is because I could never I couldn't read a schedule. I couldn't read a schedule. I don't know why it was so hard for me. I'd show up when I'm not supposed to. Anyways, I loved it. I loved it. The manager came to me and he said, if you could figure out if you could get here on time, if you could just do your time right, you could run this store. I'm like, geez, I don't know if I'd want to run the store. I said, but I'm kind of running it now, aren't I? He said, yes, you are. After 3 weeks. Knew everybody's name, loved it. Loved when I had to do inventory and do the stacking and do the shelving and do the facing. I can't go into a grocery store now without facing it, because I know what a pain in the neck it is to face the shelves every day. Anybody know what facing the shelves is? Drop an F in the chat. If you don't know, drop a DF. A DF is when you bring all of the products to the very front of the shelf so everything looks full, even if there's one can there, right? So I've done facing, and so I'll go into Walmart, and when Michelle is shopping and she's looking at stuff, I'll just go along the shelf and I'll face it. One day somebody's going to tell me, don't do that. Maybe, maybe not. Other times somebody's going to go, hey, listen, thank you for taking care of our store. But that's my payday. Facing the shelf is my payday. I go, oh, look, I get to leave my mark. And I always usually do the top ones first because most people can't reach those. So what's your payday? What's your payday? You got to decide what your payday is today. And your payday is your state. Strategy is not a payday. Strategy is not a payday. Repeat after me. Strategy is not a payday. How is not a payday. Story is not a payday because most people lie about their story. How many of us know people have exaggerated? How many of us know that people exaggerated their income in our profession? They exaggerated the size of their group. They exaggerated. So their story's a lie. Their story's a lie. And if their story's a lie, their strategy's a lie. If I could do it, you could do it is one of the biggest lies. I don't have your skills, your talent, your abilities, your techniques, your capabilities, your understandings, your wants, your wishes, your whys, your desires. I don't have any of that. So how you did it, I'll never be able to do it. So if you give me this BS story, belief system story of if I could do it, you could do it. No, if I could do it, it might be possible for you. But to tell me if I could do it, you could do it. If I could do it, you could do it. What a crock. What a way to make me feel so insignificant. Listen, I was part of the club till I understood the brain, till I understood the brain and the heart connection, till I understood the brain, the heart, and the gut, till I understood how the I am, the I feel, the I do, the I love, the I speak, the I see, and the I understand chakras all work together. If I could do root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra, I'll get it right. Hang on, I'm working on it. If I could do it, if I could sacral chakra it, if I could do it, you could do it. Well, you're still an I am. I am is the root chakra. It's the security chakra. It's the thing that keeps us safe. And what's the best way to keep you safe? When you say an I am statement is to avoid anything that would make you unsafe. So it's kind of the lowest form of a mission statement. I am this. Your brain's going, no, you're not. You don't do it. You don't feel it. You don't love it. You don't speak it. You don't see it. You don't understand it. You got 6 versus I am. 6 versus I am. You want to know why you don't have a payday? It's called math. Simple math. You're outnumbered by other energies. how do I change this, Sean? That's strategy. I understand. That's strategy. How do I change this? The how you change it is to get out of howing to get into state. How do I get into state? Very easy. Why do you ask? The way you get into state, RC in the house. Hey, RC. The way you get into state is you have to have a vision that pulls you. The payday needs to be the reward. You need to be the reward, not the result. Too many of you, your payday is a result of what you did, right? How many of you get paid in advance? And if you're a consultant, I get paid in advance. I get paid in advance. I'm a consultant. You're not going to take my information and run off to town and go whoop-a-doo. But if you don't get paid in advance, then what has to happen is that you have to perform and then you get paid. So your payment is a result, not a reward. Your payday, the payday you want, the dream you want, the stuff you want, the wishes you want, that payday is as a result of what you feel and what you believe. That's why your payday is kind of limited, is you don't believe and you don't feel it. You talk about it, you talk about it. You get on lives and you talk about, I'm working towards my goals. I'm having a great day. You should too. If I could do it, you could do it. You should be here. You should do this with me. You should. You're shoulding all over everybody. Because if you told your real story, you might be embarrassed. If you told your real story, you might be embarrassed. Build a bigger story. What are you working on? What are you working in? What are you working through? Take people on the journey with you. You want to change your state? Go send out 100 messages of gratitude. 100? Well, see, there's your state. What are you so busy? What are you so busy collecting a payday for that you couldn't go send out 100 things? You're so busy being busy, you can't get a payday. So what I'm going to teach you next Thursday, Friday, a week from today on Purpose-Driven Payday is how to assemble all of this information, how to use language to make your conversations, your presentations absolutely fall off the log. Simple conversations that allow people to say yes by giving them the chance to say no. Some of you don't give people a chance to say no. So I'm going to teach you how a purpose-driven payday can happen for you every day. Could you imagine what would happen if you sponsored 3 people a week? Not a crazy number, 3 people a week. What would happen if you had the right amount of contacts, the right amount of people that you could sponsor 3 people a week? Would you be excited? Would you be excited if you could sponsor 3 people a week? If you're not sponsoring 3 people a week, you're doing yourself and the people around you an injustice. Do you believe that listen carefully, this is going to hurt. Do you believe that 3 people, that everybody who sponsors, that you sponsor and enroll in your business could get value of it if they took advantage of it, if they followed the system and followed the plan and did the work? Do you think your process is valuable enough? Do you think there's people out there waiting on you, specifically you, to work with you so that you could have more of what you want and they could have more of what you want and they could have more of what they want and more of what you want and more of what they want, and you could help them and you want more of what they want? That's a purpose-driven payday versus enrolling somebody. I got to get somebody in my business. It's hard to have a payday when you're trying to get paid for your results. Listen, most people's results and dialogue suck. Period. End of story. They're horrible. They're 2 monologues. We don't even know how to communicate with our spouses. Typically, we don't. So go to SeanGMurphy.com/PDP, SeanGMurphy.com/PDP and get signed up. It's going to be 2 days, not 3, 2 days, about 2.5 hours a day. So it might be 5 hours in total. But it's going to be only about language, about skill set, and about conversing and having conversations on payday. What it means to have a payday, mentally, emotionally, physically. And you'll have the ability, I promise you, you'll have the ability to enroll at least 3 people a week when you understand this language. Because you talk to 3 people a week now who don't know you're in business, right? How many of you have talked? How many of you have talked in the last 2 weeks to at least 3 people who have no idea the business you're in because you're scared to death to talk to them about it because you're afraid of rejection? Drop a 3 in the chat if you've spoken to at least 3 people who have no idea you're in business. So why are you doing them a disservice? Because of your insecurity? You're not giving them a chance to say yes to their potential or even say no to their potential. See, when somebody rejects you, you take it on personally. I just say, so why do you think you're not capable of success? Is it ridiculous to think that you want more in life? Let me ask you this. Drop a yes or no. Is it ridiculous for me to think you want more in life? No, it's not. See, I just went for a no. I got a no that gave you authority, that gave you power. See, you're not using no correctly. Is it ridiculous for me to think that you don't want more in life? No, no. Is it ridiculous to think, would it be crazy for me to think that you lack the skills to create more in life? My whole point is pay attention to how you use language to limit yourself. That's what I'm going to teach you in Purpose Driven Payday. Go to SeanGMurphy.com/PDP. I'll see you there. I'm your head brain training, brain scrambling, intentionally driving misfit. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next event. Till then, love you, Instagram. Bye for now. SeanGMurphy.com/PDP. Purpose Driven Payday. And YouTube.